Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today?
Very good.
My name is Diallo, and today is Monday, August 17th. We're going to be doing current events. Okay. For those of you who, just like me, had no idea what was going on this weekend, we're about to find out what's going on, what happened this weekend, especially yesterday, which was interesting here in the Bay Area. Yesterday, there was thunder and lightning. Yeah. It started about 3:30 on Sunday morning. From 3:30 to about 2 o'clock, it was thunder, lightning, and rain. And it felt like I was in Tennessee or Mississippi or something like that because it felt like tornado weather. Yep. Oh, yes. And again, my name is Diallo. Thank you for joining us. So our first story is Bay Area braces for more wild weather blackouts. This is from the East Bay Times. It says lightning could strike thousands more times and cause more wildfires. Bay Area residents were braced for another round of lightning strikes, possible power outages, and wildfires across the region overnight after a wild series of thunderstorms rattled people across northern California. The National Weather Service extended its red flag warning for the entire Bay Area to 11 a.m. today, warning that a new series of thunderstorms and lightning strikes would likely cause more fires. PG&E said in a statement Sunday evening that it was likely that state officials were again instructed to cut off power services to some customers before the night was through. We don't think there's going to be another round of lightning. We do think there's going to be another round of lightning activity over the Bay Area, similar to last night. National Weather Service meteorologist Ann Schreiner said Sunday evening. The systems would start in Monterey, she said, and drift northwards, lasting until this morning. It may be a little wetter this time around, but it'll be moving quickly and wouldn't be helpful in putting out any ignitions from lightning strikes. So basically, it's going to rain a little bit, or quite a bit, but it's not enough to put out a fire. Those lightning strikes, man. Drivers need the highway for commuter travel to see a repeat of the erratic and gusty winds that can make for difficult driving along bridges, hilly passes, and elevated terrain. The heat event also remains in effect. So if you guys ever noticed, it's been really hot. Haven't you noticed that? It's been about Saturday was like 110 at my house. That's way too hot if you ask me.
That's like down south.
Mm-hmm. So again, another heat index days will last for the rest of the weeks, and inland cities like Livermore getting a decent chance of meeting or beating its record of 106 set in 1939. It's forecast at 104, 105. Schreiner said, so it'll be close. It depends on what time the clouds clear out and the heating ramps up. Days of hot weather already had firefighters on the alert as clouds moved in early Sunday, developing off the central coast and bringing dry lightning over parts vegetation. The storms began building over Santa Cruz shortly before 3 a.m. Sunday and moved north across the region over the next few hours with dramatic lightning displays and brief downpours of rain through mid-morning. That's crazy, huh?
You need to live down in the wall. You see what
Yeah, but you usually don't get that type of lightning and rain here. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what else is in the news. All right, how about some stuff on the election? It says Meadows says he accepts Harris eligible for VP. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said Sunday that he accepts that Senator Kamala Harris is eligible to serve as vice president, rejecting a false and racist conspiracy theory that President Donald Trump had promoted. Sure, said Meadows, when asked on CNN's State of the Union whether he acknowledges the fact that she meets the constitutional requirements to be president or vice president. And I think the president spoke to this yesterday. This is not something that we're going to pursue. Trump twice this past week declined to say whether he believed she met the requirement when asked about the social media claims that the California senator and former presidential candidate couldn't serve in the White House because her parents were immigrants to the United States. Trump initially said Thursday that he had just heard the claim and had no idea if that's right, but that the charge was serious and he would look into it. Pressed again Saturday to accept her eligibility, Trump demurred, saying at a news conference at his New Jersey golf club that it didn't bother him, but he had not gotten into it in any great detail. Harris is without question eligible for office. Harris, 55, was born in Oakland, California, making her
Is that how old she is? 55?
making her a natural-born U.S. citizen and eligible to be president if Joe Biden were unable to serve a full term. Her father, an economist from Jamaica, and her mother, a cancer researcher from India, met at the University of California, Berkeley as graduate students. That's interesting. All right, let's see what else we got. Some local news here. Let's see. Ooh, that's not good news. All right, let's see here. It says Fremont and Hayward among the top 10 cities for remote work. You know what remote work is? It means when you don't go into the office, you work from home. That's what remote work means. It means you're working from home. If you have to work from home, Fremont is one of the best mid-sized cities in the nation to do it in, according to the study by business insurance research firm Advisor Smith. And Hayward is pretty good too. Fremont and Hayward ranked 4th and 7th, respectively, in the company's top 10 list of cities considered desirable for people who work from home. A silver lining in the fall from coronavirus pandemic. Advisor Smith examined nearly 2,500 American cities and ranked them using 5 factors that can make spending almost every working minute in them a little easier. Availability of high-speed internet, housing prices, crime rates, and parkland, and weather. Fremont's 4th place ranking was bolstered by the wide availability of high-speed internet. About 98% of Fremont residents have access to 2 or more broadband providers offering internet connections at speeds of 100 megabytes per second or faster, compared with an average of 67% in other mid-sized cities. Fremont also has 0.07 of an acre of parkland per resident, which may not sound like a lot, but is more than 3 times the average amount available in mid-sized U.S. cities. The city also scored well in weather and low crime rates, more so than for its housing cost. Using Zillow's data to determine the average price of 3-bedroom houses in the surveyed cities, Advisor Smith found that at a little more than $1 billion, Fremont's homes cost almost 3 times as much as the national average of $361,000, according to the company's spokeswoman, Brenda Franco. Hayward's $673,000 average was much higher than the national average too, but at least relatively more affordable than Fremont's. top mid-size city for working from home was Chesapeake, Virginia. The best small city was Fairview Park, Ohio, and the best largest city was Scottsdale, Arizona. Interesting, right? Work from home. Let's look at some sports. Let's see what we got here. So our next story is going to be about college sports. And right now there's a controversy in college sports, especially football, because a lot of the big conferences in the United States for college football, they canceled their seasons because of the virus. Yep, they canceled the college football season. And a lot of the players want to play, and a lot of the businesses want to play because college football brings in billions of dollars a year. And without college football, a lot of people won't have jobs this fall that they would normally have every year. Let's say an extra job to get their kids Christmas gifts. They won't have that this year. So NCAA doctor, COVID-19 testing needs to improve. The NCAA's chief medical officer said there was a narrow path to playing college sports during the coronavirus pandemic, and if testing nationwide does not improve, it cannot be done. Dr. Brian Haydenline told CNN Saturday that everything would have to line up perfectly for college sports to be played this fall. Much of the fall college sports seasons have been canceled, with conferences hoping to make up competition, including football in the spring. But not everyone has accepted those decisions. On Sunday, Big Ten football players continue to push the conference to overturn its cancellation of the fall season. Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields, Penn State tight end Pat Freiermuth, and others posted on Twitter an online petition requesting the Big Ten reinstate the schedule the conference released 6 days before it pulled the plug. Player parent groups from Iowa, Ohio State, Penn State, and Nebraska have sent letter to the Big Ten commissioner, Kevin Warren, asking for the conference to reverse course and seeking more transparency into the decision. The NCAA has no jurisdiction over major college football, so the conferences have been left to make their own calls. The highest level of college football, 4 conferences, including the Big Ten and Pac-12, have postponed fall sports and are hoping to make them up in some fashion in the spring. 6 leagues, including the Atlantic Coast Conference, Southeastern Conference, and Big 12, are moving forward plans to play in the fall. Haydenline told CNN that how colleges and universities handle the reopening of campuses to students will be crucial in determining when fall sports can be played. Athletes have been on campus for nearly 2 months, in some cases preparing for their seasons and being regularly tested for COVID-19. Testing of athletes will need to increase when competition begins, and recent breakthroughs in saliva testing can provide faster results and more access to testing for everyone. But just how many remains to be seen. The availability of turnaround times of COVID-19 tests is still a problem in many parts of the country. That's interesting. Interesting. Let's see what else. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The robots. What about robots? All right. So now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at news of today, yesterday. Does that make sense? So this day in history, okay? So again, that's August 17th, 2020 today. We're going to look at August 17th of 1960. So what happened today in 1960? The newly renamed Beatles began their first gig in Hamburg, West Germany. That's when the Beatles started. August 17th, 1964. Teamsters Union President Jimmy Hoffa was sentenced in Chicago to 5 years in federal prison for defrauding his union pension fund. You remember Jimmy Hoffa, right?
Yes.
What happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Nobody knows, right? They think he was buried under a giant stadium in New York. They think all kinds of stuff. Right? He's buried under some street somewhere. Nobody quite knows what he is. They probably just cut him into little pieces and threw him in the ocean. But the mob got him. August 17th, 1982. The first commercially produced compact discs were pressed. You know what compact discs are? CDs. Compact discs are CDs. Yeah, that's a compact disc. Those are first produced in 1982. That was before I was even born. August 17th, 2020. President Bill Clinton gave grand jury testimony concerning his relationship with Monica Lewinsky. He then delivered a TV address which he denied previously committing perjury, admitted his relationship with Lewinsky was wrong, and criticized Kenneth Starr's investigation. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
You remember when Bill Clinton did that? He denied he was doing anything with Monica Lewinsky, but he really was.
Yes.
And lied about it. Mm-hmm. News of the weird. Gone but not forgotten. Srinivas Gupta, a businessman in Kabul, India, and his wife, Madhavi, were building their dream home when she died in a car crash in 2017. Gupta has installed a life-size wax statue of his wife in the home. Madhavi's likeness is in a seated position, clothed in pink sari and gold jewelry. At a housewarming party August 7th, friends and relatives posed with Madhavi on a couch and posted photos to social media. The family says they will keep the statue in their courtyard. She used to enjoy the outdoors, daughter Anusha Gupta said. That's kind of creepy. Your wife or husband died, so you put a giant-sized statue in the house? So you can look at him every day. It's kind of creepy, if you ask me. That's kind of creepy, if you ask me. Ew, gross. Mm-hmm. All right. So again, thank you for joining me for current events today. It's a little short one. That's okay.
Yes.
My name is Diallo. Thank you for joining me. All right. Mm-hmm. We're not done yet. Not done quite yet. No.